So purpose and value of jurisprudence. The study of jurisprudence is not only limited to the development or evolution of law. It's not just about how law originated, as discussed in different theories of law. The academics who study jurisprudence also make great contribution to the field of other sciences like political, social fields. This lead to overall development of the society. So there are theories which try to link law with society, like when we say theories of punishment or the concept of probation of offenders. It is something which is trying to link, right? It is trying to link between a criminal, a society, his punishment and his future. How a society would react once he serves 7 years of punishment and goes back to the society. It would be very difficult for him to adjust. Society would not accept. All these things are related subjects, right? So it's not just about how law originated, how it evolved, but it also talks about law's relation with other different subjects, other different concepts, and how we can link all these things together. Everything is explained in jurisprudence. Hey, before we continue, I wanted to inform you about my live mentorship program for LLB students or law aspirants. Law subjects and law topics need detailed clarity. We get that with the help of cases, examples, and detailed explanation. It's definitely not possible to include everything in these short videos. If you find my videos easy to understand and you are looking for some professional help in preparing for your examination, you can join my live mentorship program. Here you will be getting exam tips, answer writing skills, detailed notes that you can refer for your examination, cases, examples, and in a very easy way topics will be explained. I have live classes going on for a lot of subjects as of now. To know more about it, you can drop me a message on this WhatsApp number. I'm also helping a lot of students in writing their assignments. If you need any such help or for any queries, any suggestions, you can drop me a message on this WhatsApp number. And now let's continue with our video. The study of jurisprudence also helps uncommunicate some of the concepts and complexities of the legal world. Like when we say person, whomever you ask, right, from a non-law background, if you ask any person that who is a person, they would most likely say that it's a living human being like you or me. But when we study law, then only we know that, okay, when we say person, it's not just about living human being. Even a company, even an association, even an university, all these are considered as persons. They have same kind of existence in the eyes of law. Under Transfer of Property Act, you would see even they can acquire properties, right? But that would be very unrealistic for a person who is from the non-legal background, right? They would say that that does not make sense. Why should we be considering a university as a person? And university is a university. But then there are all these concepts we get to understand with the help of jurisprudence again. Like what is the purpose of considering it like that? It makes them more manageable and rational and thus easier to understand. When we understand the logic or reason behind doing so, it starts to make sense. And then all the different concepts that we get in different legislations, we understand the philosophy or the reasoning behind that also. This can also lead to a more effective practice of law. And when we understand the reason for adding a certain concept, it just helps us to make use of it also. We often call jurisprudence the grammar of the law. Like when we start learning a new subject without knowing the grammar, it becomes very difficult. Okay, like can you speak Hindi?
हिंदी मालूम आता है मैडम, बोल सकता है.
Yes. So in case of Hindi, like in other languages, like most of the other languages that I know, when we talk about gender, right, we assign gender to like male, female, like that we assign gender. But in case of Hindi, everything is having a gender, right? You must be knowing that. So that makes it very difficult when someone who is like Hindi is not that person's mother tongue, that person starts learning or trying to speak Hindi. The most common mistake that the person will do is with regard to the gender. Okay, because based on that, we need to frame the sentence. So
Yes.
only when we know the grammar, we will be able to speak the language correctly, right? So grammar is very important for any kind of language that we are learning. And only when we know the grammar, we will be able to communicate better. So when we talk about law, jurisprudence is compared with grammar. That it's so basic that only when you understand these concepts, other different subjects would start making sense. Like if you do not even know what is right, what is duty, you cannot understand IPC, you cannot understand constitution and all those things. That's how it's compared with grammar for law. It will help a lawyer with the basic ideas and reasoning behind the written laws. So everything would start making sense once we understand the theory behind a certain concept. It helps them better understand the fundamentals of law and to figure out the actual rule of law. Then everything starts making sense. Like a person might say that the Azmal Kasaf, who was the main accused of Mumbai Taj attack, right? A person from the non-legal background might question that what was the need for giving him so much of protection and allowing him, like hearing at the first place. Everything was very clear. He has done the crime. Why can't we just give him death penalty? A person from the non-legal background might ask those kind of questions, that why we had to spend so much of money in maintaining his safety, security, and then giving him a fair trial. Only when we understand law, we would know the importance of a fair trial, rule of law, natural justice, and all those concepts. And then all these different situations that happen around us, those also start making sense. So lawyer and judges can use jurisprudence as a guide to correctly interpret certain laws that require interpretation. Ideally, we say that it's only the judges who would interpret the law, but not only the judges, even lawyers try to provide their arguments based on that. They also try to say that, okay, this is how it should be interpreted. On their arguments also, they take help of interpretation, right? And all these things come from here. So study of jurisprudence does not serve only academic purpose. It also helps lawyers and other practitioners in practical world as well. It's for judges, definitely it's important. Even for lawyers, it will help them to frame their arguments and stuff. It sharpens their knowledge, legal knowledge. Also, it trains the mind to find alternate routes and channels of, though in case of difficulty. The law can mean more than one thing, and this exploration is a direct effort of the study of jurisprudence. When we talk about a certain thing, one certain concept might have 2-3 different meanings. How do we interpret it? How do we try to understand the correct meaning or the best meaning out of a certain concept? All these things come with the knowledge of jurisprudence only. So jurisprudence, interpretation of statute, these things you can consider that these are like related concepts, right? General Clauses Act, all these are related concepts. With the knowledge of all these different things, it helps in the practical and the work field, right? For every single person. Okay, is this part clear?
Clear, madam.
So main here what we need to remember, like something which otherwise it's mostly theoretical, easy to remember concepts only, but the most like something what you need to remember is this schools only, because here you need to remember names of jurists, their books, what was their viewpoint on the concept, like that we need to study. Okay, so that is something where we need to pay some attention, otherwise it is like philosophical. Once you understand, you will be able to write as well, like that kind of a subject it is.
Jurist philosophical points we have to study by heart.
Yes, that is something you need to study by heart, because what was the book written by Selman? Definitely you need to remember it, right? Selman supported which theory? You need to remember it. So it's a little bit that you need to like memorize. Otherwise, it's mostly theoretical. Like when we talk about these, right?
Yes.
Maybe different kinds of rights. Once you know only the kinds, like the names of it, you would be able to explain, because names are very much self-explanatory. So once you remember it, you would be able to explain, give the example and stuff. But schools is something where you need to memorize a bit.
Yes.
Okay.